Hey, thanks for checking out Fast Eddie's Chop Shop. Here you have every right to be wrong, and I'm going to break it down for you. Society is dying. Our schools are a mess. Inflation is a mess. Business is a mess. Government is a mess. The world is a mess with wars. Friendships are a mess. Everything, government, jobs, school, every aspect of your life right now is a mess. You can't deny that. Now, I'm not trying to get you depressed or anything, but sit down for 5 minutes and ask yourself, what's going right with the world right now? What's really anything? Anything at all? Nothing. Why? What changed? When did it change? And who changed it? We allowed it, but those are still the questions. What, when, why, and who? We can really take a look at the when. 1962, they took prayer out of school. Now, I want you to think about something. You don't have to be a Christian. You don't have to be any denomination. You don't have to, you can be an atheist. And if you're really thoughtful about things, let's say you're an atheist, who cares that some kids got up and prayed to a God? If you don't believe in God, that's fine. Now, I don't believe it's fine at the end of your life, but for this purpose of this conversation, that's fine. But who would argue that appealing to a higher ideal, a higher standard, is a bad thing? As long as that higher standard is good. You know, don't kill, don't murder, don't lie, don't cheat on your wife, don't walk around jealous, coveting other people's stuff. Some sound principles as an example. So, 1962, take prayer out of schools. Now, why is that bad? For everything I just said. We, as a nation, decided that we didn't want to appeal to a higher ethic anymore. And I don't know the specific stats. If somebody wants to look it up, I'm right. School violence skyrocketed. Bad things started to happen immediately. And again, I'm not going to hit this from a religious aspect. We're going to tackle it, if you're an atheist, no God, for the purpose of this conversation. But when we stopped appealing to the higher ideals, and then a year later, a president came out with a big speech saying that the underground government, who's really running things, needed to be, the shadow government needed to go away. And he was going to do something about it. Not that long after that, that president, JFK, was murdered. So within a year, something really bad happened. And ever since then, everything has gotten worse and worse and worse. So number one, we stopped appealing to a higher ideal. And number two, the deep state took over. Now again, that's it's a theory. And millions and millions and millions of people have held that theory that JFK was assassinated by a deep state. Since then, school violence skyrocketed. Our life went to shambles. Not right away. It took time. The next great event was the pandemic. And I don't know about you, but for certain, I personally felt like a cloud of doom came over the country. And of course, there's psychological reasons, but our government made us stay at home. Our government, for the first time in American history, well, second time, there were internment camps, but our government told its citizens where to go, what to do, and ever since then, harshly is telling us how to think. Another great event is the marriage of big business, corporations, giant corporations, and government. You see, the government is limited by the Constitution, but businesses are not. So the deep state finally figured out that let's get in bed with the big business, and we can accomplish our goals through the businesses. From alphabet agencies seeking help from alphabet companies, ban this, shadow ban that, meetings with Twitter, telling them what to do. You see, if they didn't stop teaching history and ethics and all kinds of things to our children at school, they would know constitutionally that the government's not even allowed to do that. Even they're not allowed to go off on a side road and eliminate your rights from a side angle. Still problematic, still illegal, still not right, but we all let it happen because not enough of us know what our rights are. So, what has changed? At the end of the day, we stopped putting our faith into a higher ideal, higher than us. Who did it? The deep state. When? I think you could point to 1962 and in 1963 and then 2020. So there's key dates there. And now why? Because there are a lot of powerful people. There's always been powerful people. And when powerful people go unfettered, that's when you get massive events like Stalin, like Hitler, like Mao, like Pol Pot. Guys, that's coming here. Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Yeah, I know that's a saying, but it is so true. Please, read history. Look at the societies right before these totalitarian, evil, brutal dictators took over. Now, how do we stop that? By us educating ourselves and each other and putting our foot down and saying through knowledge, through teaching each other, we're gonna stop this. Now, how are they going to stop us from doing that? By keeping us from talking, by shutting videos down, from stopping free speech. That's what all this is all about. It's to keep us from talking. So, let me know what your thoughts are. Fast Eddie's Chop Shop, over and out.